Hey there, welcome to The Hot Slice, the weekly podcast brought to you by Pizza Today magazine. I'm your host, Jeremy White, editor-in-chief of Pizza Today, joined by the one, the only, Denise Greer. Hey, Denise.
Hey, Jeremy, it's good to have you on the show. I've been with Josh the last like two or three, so
I know,
it's
I've been
good to have
missing
you
in
on the
action a
show.
little bit, a
Yeah,
vacation, a trip, and then
I
just
need to
some
get you guys
busyness.
on the podcast together because I feel like I'm always on the podcast. So I need to make it
I
so
agree.
it can be the Josh and Jeremy show.
I don't
So,
know that the podcast can handle that much awesomeness at one time. It might break the bank.
oh well, that's something too. That's something
Teasing.
too.
Yeah, no, we need to do that soon. Give you a little bit of a break. And speaking of break, it's now August. We don't have
Yeah.
any break in this crazy heat we're experiencing. However, we will down the road. We're 2 months away from the Pizza and Pasta Northeast show in Atlantic City, October 1st and 2nd. Weather's always breaks about then, starts to get really awesome, at least where you and I live in the Louisville,
Mhm.
Kentucky area. Weather gets really nice in October,
Yeah.
so I always look forward to October. And this year with the
Me
PPN
too.
show being October 1 and 2, really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
We're getting ready
How
to book our flights to Atlantic City right now.
How great is that? That the first day of PPNE is the first day of October, which is also National Pizza Month.
National
So
Pizza
we
Month.
actually kick off National Pizza Month at Pizza and Pasta Northeast with the pizza
Mhm.
folks.
Yeah,
So that's just fun.
I'd like to say that we intentionally planned that and was
We
like,
did.
but yeah, I think that I think so. I think when we booked the convention center 10 years out, I think we did plan it. Yeah.
And I do believe there are some, if you're looking to compete, I think there's still some competition spots available. So you need to go
Yeah,
see
I think
what's
so.
still available because I know some of them have filled up and some of them have not. So there are still some ways to compete at Pizza and Pasta Northeast if you'd like to get a
Yep.
title to brag at home about and maybe get some national and local coverage.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's the great thing. And you've got a great educational lineup set where it's going to be great. I'm going to be in the educational rooms just taking notes.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah,
going to be
same.
fun.
I'm really looking forward to a lot of the sessions are brand new. Um, and Melissa Rickman is going to deliver the day one keynote address. And Melissa really well, Denise. For
Yeah,
those who do
absolutely.
not know Melissa, she's a ball of fire. She's spunk and energy, and she is going to definitely bring the heat and bring the energy with her keynote. We will get her on
Yeah.
closer to PPE, and we'll talk to her a little bit about it, kind of a teaser. But
Yeah.
yeah, she's going to bring a lot of enthusiasm to her keynote that kicks off day one. So that's going to be fun.
You and I right now are working on something really important and great, and it will launch this week before
Yep.
this episode. And that is the all operator survey. So whether you own a pizzeria or you own a food truck, you have a pop-up, we're asking you all kinds of questions about the industry because we need to take that gauge, that annual gauge of what's happening in the industry so that we can put together our now annual industry report.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. And so we can say that it's out now because by the time this airs, it will be out. So it's going to be in your inbox. Please take the time to fill it out. Yes, it is extensive. I think we're around 65 questions, give or take.
63.
63. So
Yes,
yeah,
I just looked.
yeah. So we're right under 65 questions. It is extensive, but having said that, it's not time consuming. It's not going to take you 45
No,
minutes to fill this out. All right.
it's all
It's going to
stuff you
take you
already know.
10 minutes. It's stuff you already know on top of your head. A lot of times it's simply clicking a box. There
Yeah.
are some open-ended questions, but not that many. And it's not going to take you any research. You're going to be able to sit down and just fill it out. And we're going to yield so much valuable information from that
Yeah.
and put together another banger of an industry report. So
Yeah.
everyone knows exactly what's going on in our beautiful industry.
To make it bigger and better. That's just what we do. That's
Yeah.
what we always do. Just make it bigger.
That's
and
how we
better.
roll, Denise.
Yeah. So I will tell you that if it is not in your inbox, check your junk box. And if it's not in there, send me an email, dgreer@pizzatoday.com. And I will make sure you get the survey. We also are going to have a portal page on pizzatoday.com.
Yeah.
I will put that down in the show notes so that if you want to take it, it's there and it's available for you. Please, only one operator per per pizzeria, because you might have different answers, but one operator per pizzeria. That way,
And you will receive reminders. We will
Yeah.
email you. We will we'll put it in the weekly newsletter that goes out, so that you'll have a link right there that you can click on in case you're not near your original email. You'll be able to just click on the link and get to it. But please get to it. It's very important to us. It's very helpful to us, and it allows us to shine a light on exactly where the industry stands and exactly where it's going. And we use it to help plan content for Pizza Today magazine. We use it to help plan content for Pizza Expo. So everything you pour into it really comes back to you in terms of the knowledge and the expertise that ends up being provided to you in the future.
Yeah, Jeremy, do you know what my favorite question is on our report? Like the one I love the most for fun's sake is the ingredients question. When we ask you about toppings you're researching, which topping you're adding to your menu, I get jazzed when I see those responses about what people are researching as far as toppings that they're going to put on their menu, or which toppings they're adding to the menu. Like, that is my favorite question. Absolutely.
No, that doesn't surprise me. You were so jazzed last year when we had when bacon entered the top 5.
Yeah.
And Denise was like, "Oh my God, we've got a new top 5, and let's throw a party. Let's have some confetti, just like the teams win the World Series. The city throws a big party, right?" Denise was so excited to welcome bacon to the top 5. So I can see why that was your favorite question.
Yeah. So the top 20 may be completely different this year. You never know. You just don't know year to year what you're going to get. So I'm excited.
I love all that. And then I love to get into the numbers. I love to see where people think the growth is heading, where their pain points are, whether it's, with employees or whatever their pain point is. I like to know what their pain points are so that we can really guide some of the information that we get to them in the coming months.
Well, I think we've hyped up the survey enough. Get out there, take your survey.
Please.
So now let's, oh my gosh, let's get into the guests. And I say guests, we have a full screen of folks on the Zoom today.
A plethora of pizza people.
We have 4 folks on the podcast today, but it's not too jarring. They don't talk over each other. We're just getting insights from each one of them. But we have Alex White and Dani White and Cameron White, and Cameron and Alex are brothers, and Justin Ford, and they're all co-owners of Yukon Pizza, which has been named Rising Stars in the Pizza Industry in our July issue. So we're getting in and trying to talk to all those folks that were Rising Stars. And Yukon Pizza, they've come so far. It's such a fun story on how they got going and how they're successful right now, like 9 months into a brick and mortar. It's an exciting time for them.
It is, and I love the story, and I also love the fact that they have broken in and done really well in a city that has so many great restaurant options. I mean,
did we mention it's Las Vegas?
Yes. It's in Las Vegas, right? I mean, you can get anything you want 24/7 in Las Vegas, and whether it's fine dining to street tacos to donuts, right? I mean, anything you want is available, and you can find the highest quality. They have amazing chefs, amazing restaurateurs, and on top of all that, what a lot of people may not realize, now our listeners here, people involved in the pizza industry, know this from going to Pizza Expo. The general public, the American consumer, doesn't realize the level of pizza in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Right? They think of New York, Chicago as pizza towns, San Francisco, right? They're not going to think of Vegas. They're going to think of Vegas as all fine dining on the Strip. So much great pizza in Las Vegas. And for Yukon to break in Las Vegas and find success and really carve a name for itself out in Las Vegas, could not have been easy to do, but they've kind of made it look easy.
Yeah, I love it. So let's just jump into our conversation. They've got a lot to say.
Yep.
Looking to grow your pizzeria or restaurant? Then you'll want to try the power of a cloud-based POS system. With Hunger Rush, you'll get everything you need. This fully integrated restaurant management system allows you to easily streamline operations, accelerate the delivery process, and grow your business through Hunger Rush 360 marketing. And it's so easy to use. Want AI-powered text ordering? It's built in. Need to track orders? No problem. Schedule a personalized demo at hungerrush.com today. Performance Food Service is proud to deliver high-quality products, innovative technology, and custom operational solutions to restaurants of all sizes across the country. The flagship division of Performance Food Group, with deep roots in the restaurant industry, Performance Food Service has been the exclusive distributor of the Roma family of brands for more than 65 years. This signature relationship has allowed Performance Food Service to become a leader in the pizza and Italian segment of food service nationwide. With extraordinary pizza cheese comes extraordinary rewards. Only Baccio Exceptional Italian Pizza Cheese offers the Gold Club Rewards program with monthly cash back on every cheese purchase. Members also receive funds twice a year to use in their exclusive marketing store. It's their way of saying grazie to customers. Schedule a demonstration at bacciocheese.com/hotslice and discover how rewarding Baccio Exceptional Italian Pizza Cheese can be. Pizza is your legacy. Build it with Baccio.
Hey guys, welcome to the Hot Slice. Thanks for coming on the show this morning for you. Afternoon for us, but morning for y'all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
All right. So why don't you go ahead and tell everybody who you are and kind of what you do with Yukon.
Who else to start it off? I'll go first. I'm Justin Ford. I'm the chef co-owner of Yukon Pizza. I mostly operate in the back kitchen, making smash burgers and stuff you won't really find in a normal pizzeria.
Awesome.
And yeah, just pretty much I'm the night gremlin apparently. So I stay open at night late and make sure the light rush goes right and the restaurant runs properly.
I'm Cameron White, and I happen to be the older brother of this handsome gentleman here. And just part of the crew and part of the ownership. I do a little bit of everything from marketing to making a lot of dough to working the register. So it's small business times.
And I'm Dani Garcia-White. I'm Alex's wife. I'm kind of in the same spot as Cameron, doing a little bit of everything. A lot of the back office stuff, schedules and payroll and all the fun government things we have to do, but I'm also here at the restaurant every day making pizzas and taking orders, and I'm learning the back kitchen too, so gotta know a little bit of everything. So,
and I'm Alex White. I'm the founder and owner of Yukon Pizza. This is my passion project that started over 10 years ago and resulted in a restaurant.
Awesome. Well, Alex,
welcome, guys.
Welcome. So I'll let you answer this question, Alex. Okay, so you all have come a long way from when we first met you guys at Pizza Expo. I think right at our pandemic year ops, or maybe even 2019 before the pandemic, where you guys were running out of a commercial kitchen, and then now you have your brick and mortar, and you're just rocking and rolling.
That's it. Yeah, I think we met 2020. Because that would be the year that we also got into the Vegas test kitchen, which is that kind of shared incubator space that we came out of.
Yeah, it would have been 2021, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's been a wild last 3 years.
Now, what I think is fun is, going from a commercial kitchen to a brick and mortar, what's a lesson that you guys learned right off the bat going into a brick and mortar?
Well, it's all on you. Is definitely one. One of the nice things about the shared kitchen space is that there was a lot of if something's wrong, we just tell the landlord and that gets fixed, like that kind of stuff. So it was a nice set of training wheels, I think, is that, there's just a lot more on you as a owner of a brick and mortar space. So all the stuff that, used to be able to be either automated or passed off to somebody else when you're in a group scenario, all of a sudden is on you. So that's, something we were lucky to be able to level up to, but glad we had that 2 years of kind of training wheels at the shared kitchen space.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big lesson.
Big lessons.
Air conditioning is nice because at that space, our pizza oven was outdoors. So we ran 2 Vegas summers outdoors making pizzas. And now, even though it's still kind of warm in our restaurant, we're experiencing some pretty dramatic heat spikes here, at least for inside.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Vegas is no joke. And it's really no joke as a restaurant scene either. I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know. You're in a world-class dining city, so there's no shortage of great food in Vegas. So how are you making your mark in a city where there are so many really good options?
What's great about Las Vegas, and I think a lot of people who come to Pizza Expo see, is that number one, the pizza community here is really strong.
Mhm.
So outside of awesome, a lot of fine dining restaurants and awesome restaurants, we do have the pizza restaurants themselves are all really tight knit. We're all friends and support each other and help each other out. And that naturally expands out to the wider web of the chefs that we know and restaurants that we know and people that we work with and collaborate with. So we can get to rub shoulders with some of the big names in towns, but only because they like to go to our restaurant and eat food and they want to be off the strip somewhere. Just they heard about another friend of ours who runs a pizzeria to come try us out. So making your mark is just kind of doing good work and putting your head down and just being a supportive member of the community. Like we have no competition in our minds other than just ourselves to do better every day. There's a lot of great pizza, a lot of different styles of pizza, and then there's a lot of great restaurants, styles of restaurants. You can eat all over the world in a 5-mile radius of Las Vegas. And we're looking forward to the day that we have a little more free time to run out and do more restaurant eating outside of our place right now. But I think Las Vegas is unique and wonderful like that, as far as we're a relatively small town and our valley is very tight. So we can get across the city in 30 minutes. Most places you can't really do that, much less travel to a pizzeria, be welcomed with open arms. They'll walk you to the back kitchen and show you what they're doing. I did a week's worth of TV shows in New York years and years ago, and every single restaurant I went to, the chefs and the owners were guarded and closed off, wouldn't want to share anything. And I was just kind of that was the way they did it. And I'm grateful that we have a little bit more open and kind of welcoming style.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what makes the pizza community special. And you're right, Vegas, there are a lot of great pizzerias in Vegas, and all the pizzeria owners that I personally know in your city are really open about sharing and helping one another out. And that's really cool. Now, one thing you do differently, at least I think, is you're working with sourdough. Am I correct about that?
Yeah, it's a 5th generation heirloom sourdough. So at this point, it's 126 years old.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm a sourdough fanatic. I'm an amateur sourdough baker at home. So now I've got to hear about the origin story of this.
Yes.
Where did it come from? How did it end up in your hands?
So this is probably the best part about the whole story for our Yukon Pizza. So Cameron and I, we grew up eating sourdough every weekend. It was what my dad used to make pancakes. My mom used to make bread and biscuits. That was pretty normal for us. And we were told the story as we kind of grew up where it came from, but only as you get older, as you really realize kind of how special that is. So in about the turn of the 20th century, 1897, 1898 or so, in the Yukon Territories during the Klondike Gold Rush, our great-great-great-grandpa ran a general store, mercantile. He sold mining camps, goods and wares, food, also along that with sourdough. You'd sold that to camps where they had fresh bread, so they could use active dry yeast. Wasn't really a thing at the time. That wasn't commercially available as much. So you had to have a sourdough. So our great-great-great-grandpa Gilbert ran that for a long time, and then eventually carried that down to Anchorage, Alaska, and then into Seattle, where my great-great-grandpa Tad had it, or our great-grandpa Tad had it. So we have stories from our grandpa with, his guy making him sourdough biscuit when he was growing up. We have stories of our dad eating his dad's sourdough pancakes and biscuits growing up. So that sourdough traveled from Seattle down to Southern California, where my parents grew up. They grew up in a small town, Trona, California. It's just on the west side of Death Valley. It's hotter than Death Valley, and it's about the smallest place you'll ever find. But both my parents lived there and they met there. They grew up as high school sweethearts. And my dad had that sourdough all his life. And we've only known the sourdough all our life. So when I left for college to come to UNLV here in Las Vegas, my dad handed me my little part of the starter. He takes off some of the mother and hands it. It's the heirloom thing. We don't have much else except for the sourdough.
Yeah.
And when you're 19 or 20, you don't really quite realize the full value of that kind of way. I started throwing pizza parties in my apartment, not even knowing what I was doing. I was more like trying to drink beer and meet people and all that kind of thing when you're college age. But at some point, I went to a restaurant here in Las Vegas called Setabello, and they do a Neapolitan style.
Yeah,
pizza.
we know Setabella.
They're great. They were my first introduction into that style of pizza, probably 10 years ago at this point now. And then, once you have that first bite of a pizza that's truly artisanal and different and special, it really has a light bulb moment. Like, I became obsessed with trying to figure out how to do pizza at home, but on top of that, doing sourdough pizza. And in 2010 or 2011, there really wasn't a lot of like resources making pizza at home, much less making sourdough pizza. There was bread baking, and there was a couple dudes out there who were hacking ovens and trying to get into the game a little bit. But going from a backyard pizza maker to a commercial pizza maker wasn't really quite the craze that it is now.
Yeah.
So I was really knuckleheading my way along, kind of by myself for a long time. I was going to the library to read books on how to make bread and work with the sourdough, so I could actually develop a pizza dough that was usable. All this time, I'm hacking my own oven. I'm starting to build my own Franken ovens. I'm buying ovens off the internet that are just starting to come out. I kickstarted the very first uni oven that came out 8 years ago or whatever it was. I've been in the various oven game for a long time for the backyard pizza ovens. So once I was able to find that final key of proper wood-fired oven to work out of, it really came together that I was able to make pizza at home that tasted like a restaurant, delivered to restaurant quality, but out of my backyard. I would I called them end of the world parties because we'd go out in the middle of the desert. I called End of the World in Las Vegas. Be huge, an expanse of nothing. I'd set up my oven, cooler full of beer and wine. I'd text the GPS coordinates of a huge list of people that I knew. I'd just say, show up. If you want to show up, there's pizza and wine out here in the desert. And so I threw those parties for a couple of years on the side. And they kind of grew and grew until I was getting requests to do catering for weddings and people's like personal backyard parties. So I formalized the business in 2017, got it registered, and started working it as it was a side thing to my main gig. But I just wanted to be able to run money through it and pay taxes and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. And we lived in different spots at the time. Alex was still here in Southern Nevada and Vegas. I was in Northern Nevada and Reno. And every, couple months we'd get together and I'd try the pizza and it would get better every time. And soon started talking about, because we like each other. We like working together in our previous careers. We would try to work together often. And we started talking about one day, it'd be great if we could take this and do it full time for real. One day when we're really old and are retired.
We are not really old, so you obviously got it going a lot sooner than you anticipated.
I was laid off from my job. Alex and Dani. Alex's work dried up. Dani got furloughed. So we actually started making pizzas out of the house in March of 2020. At first, just to kind of feed friends and families and give them something to do during lockdown. But pretty quick, the Instagram requests were coming in for more pizzas from people they didn't know. Alex looped in Justin at that point, who we had known obviously for a couple of years previous, and 2 or 3 times weekly out of the house in that early part of lockdown, they started selling pizzas. I moved down here not too much longer after that to kind of help kickstart it, and we realized pretty quickly that we had something on our hands that we could, skip ahead 20 years and turn this into our family business right now.
Well, you've definitely got a lot of like steam built up with the business because your name gets out there and it just keeps rising and keeps rising. What's been key to you guys being able to do something like that? Because especially being in Vegas and having a diverse customer base. Your customer base is probably tourists and locals and just neighborhood folks. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Word of mouth has definitely been our biggest help and has been since the beginning. As Cameron said, when we started out, those DMs we were getting to order from Instagram were from friends and friends of friends of people we knew. Once it turned out to be a list of people that we didn't know, we started asking, like, where did you hear about us? And it was like, oh, my friend told me about it, or my friend's wife's cousin's brother told me about it. And that really helped grow us as the first point. The second was, as soon as Justin got involved, he's a bit of a celebrity. I don't know if he'll call himself that, but
all right, Justin.
I feel like he is, at least locally, within the local chef and cooking community out here. So once just got involved, that was definitely a huge boost to our customer base. And then again, it goes back to word of mouth, and it just keeps growing and growing. We've also been lucky to get some pretty decent press, some from unexpected sources. We were on a PBS show, a local PBS show called Get Outdoor Nevada years ago, and they run it every couple months because we're still getting new customers like, oh, I saw you on PBS and decided to come down. Or
PBS will replay that and replay that. You'll have this for the next 20 years.
PBS will outlast all of us.
Yeah.
So, and then just articles in local publications and things like that. So a lot of it is luck. I mean, it is luck, but a lot of it is that, once people do try us out, they can tell that, we have a quality product between everything that Alex has built up and then the amazing menu that Chef has built in the back kitchen and helping with pizzas and stuff. And we care about it, and we care about our community as well. So, when customers come in, they see one or all of the four of us at any given moment at this restaurant. So I think just having our presence here too and getting our faces out there and using our family and our commitment to our business as part of our appeal has helped quite a bit as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, besides word of mouth, what kind of, marketing are you doing? Is it mostly social media, or are you tapping into anything else?
Right now, it's mostly social media. So Alex has built up an awesome following on our Instagram. Alex, Cameron, and myself all come from a film and television background.
Okay.
A great photographer, videographer. Cameron, the same. He's also a great editor. So we've really grown our Instagram in the last few years and get quite a bit of engagement as far as customers.
Are you TikTokers since you're good at video?
We're not on TikTok. We have a TikTok account. We have a couple of our younger staff members that handle that for us because we've missed the boat on that. We don't.
I got you.
But we are on that. I think our primary source would be the Instagram. We did hire a PR firm the 2 weeks or the 4 weeks leading up to and the 4 weeks after opening the restaurant. A PR firm out here called Authentic Public Relations, and they got us on the the local news broadcasts and brought cameras out for our grand opening and stuff like that. So that definitely helped as well.
Let me ask you with that, because I know you're paying a heavy retainer for those kinds of things. Do you feel like it was worth it to have a PR firm for the grand opening, and how much ROI did you see from that?
I definitely think it was worth it just because we didn't have time to be doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Opening. If we had maybe a social media manager or someone on staff that wasn't us handling that, maybe it would have been different, but
they have more media connections, local media connections, national media connections with print journal and TV media, which we just don't quite have. So we can only try ourselves, but they already have it built in. It's friends who run the company that have been with us for a long time as fans of the pizza. So when we got close to open, they came to us and said, we'd love to help you guys out. So for the price we paid and the amount of media attention we definitely got a return on everything. If not,
that's awesome.
Just building goodwill with working with a local company and with people that we know.
Yeah, that's awesome. Jeremy, I know you're dying to ask about that smash burger. I know you're dying to.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin, I've got to know about that. I am one of those people who would never eat a burger in a pizzeria. So why would I want to eat one in your pizzeria?
It's a little bit different. It's a nice smash burger. I do house pickles, caramelized onion. We do house burger sauce. Comes together pretty nice, man. It's really nice. Toasted brioche. Can't lose.
Sounds good. I go to pizzeria for pizza. I go to, a wings place for wings. I don't get a burger wings place either. But no, I hear you on that. How's it selling? Where's it ranking in your sales list?
Probably one of the top 3 sellers.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice.
Jeremy, we had that, Scott Wiener did one of his columns on how you can have like a dynamite non-pizza item that just crushes it, know? And he gave a couple of examples, but a smash burger is a great example of something that you could just rock on your menu with pizza, I think.
It sounds like you're doing it. Justin, I did have a question for you. What was it like for you to come in with all the cooking experience that you have? But they sounds like there was already an established pizza recipe. Did you make any changes to that? Did you love it right away? How has it evolved
I was
recently?
a fan of Alex. I like following him around like a dog around the pizza expos, just talking to friends with them. And pandemic hit, bro, and he called me one day. I'm like, yeah, I was making hand sanitizer, kind of not really like legally, but I was doing it. Sure enough, I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then I took my cooking knowledge and skills and put it on based on the sourdough, and it worked out perfect. It was a nice pairing with each other, and from then on, it worked out pretty perfectly between us.
Yeah, awesome.
Justin's got a wonderful brain that we partner really well together because I can make a really good pizza base, but Justin's got the ability to really, I would like to say, chef it up and
Yeah.
turn out the really creative pizzas, you know, that extends beyond just pizza into his cooking as well, so as soon as we got our heads together that we wanted to do this, the goal from day one was to have a backline kitchen that produced non-pizza items. I wanted to give Justin a space where he could really flex his muscles, show off what he can do. He's been in the business for 20 years in some of the best restaurants on this West Coast. I'm super lucky to have him, and I know that people in town are bummed that they miss out on having Justin on their team because he's a rock star. He's a one-of-a-kind guy, and his brain is. It's every day he comes or texts me with something that he wants to try, and so we have like 5 years worth of things to get through before we can get anything else. And like we love having the weird stuff on the menu. We love having things that are different. We just actually had Christian from Slice 420 out in Colorado come in last night. They just added wings, pasta, and salad to their menu, and he said this become the new best-selling items right away.
Yeah,
just diversifying a little bit, offering us a little more options. We're also in a neighborhood that's kind of a little bit of a desert for some of the things that we have on our menu, or very good stuff that's around. So, like you said earlier, our neighborhood comes out in droves because they're finally able to walk or bike somewhere that's got great wings, pizza, burgers, beer, and wine, all within a quarter mile of where they live. There's a great arts district that's nearby, but it's still a little bit further hike crossing the boulevard. It's amazing how location will really influence people wanting to go out versus not. And you'll find that literal streets stop people from going across. They won't go across a certain street. So once you're in the right place, people start coming out of the woodwork to show up their support. And we love the surprise every day of someone coming in going, I would never order a pizza or a burger from a pizza shop. They order it, and then they come back every week for a burger. And I think that Justin brings as far as the magic goes. So we're lucky to have him.
And I think ultimately the answer to your question of why would you eat a burger at our restaurant is just talk to all of our happy customers about it. That's been the best. Again, word of mouth and a couple decent write-ups by some local critics. All goes back to just making a good product. Hype doesn't mean anything unless the actual item is good.
Execution has to be there.
Are you having the occurrence where you're getting returning guests each week? One day they're getting pizza, the next they're coming back for burgers. Because I could imagine that is actually like happening.
Absolutely.
Four times a week to the same customer, 4 times a week at the restaurant, eating burger with or other items, but 4 times a week without fail.
We have a ton of regulars. It's a huge part of our business. And, if there's any other restaurant operators out there listening and they're not quite sure if they want to jump on other items, if you can be the place that has 3 or 4 items that a customer is going to crave, why wouldn't you want to be that place? It's like we're the place that customers go to when they want a Neapolitan pizza, but also when they want a New York slice, when they want a cheeseburger, when they want a wings, when they want salads, or when they want whatever, a chicken sandwich or whatever. That's what gets our customers coming back multiple times a week. We have so much to offer, and it keeps a good variety for the customer.
And we established ourselves as a place that we have a very decent base menu that doesn't change, but we're also a small enough space that we rotate items quite a bit. Chef Justin and the other team members spend a lot of time putting together special items that we run selectively. So even just 9 months in, we've trained all of our returning customers to always be on the lookout for the new item because we're always rolling those out.
That's awesome.
with the smallest spaces we have, we can't have the enormous trifold menu that goes on forever.
Yeah.
So
How big's your space anyway? What's your square
We're
footage?
1,100 square feet.
1,100 square feet. All right, that's small.
It's small, but it's decent. We
Yeah.
maximizing it. We have 13 seats in the dining room, so it's mostly bar seating with like one table.
Okay.
And what's really great, we built the whole space around the restaurant being in a dining, or the wood fired oven being in a dining room. So as soon as you come in, you're presented with this giant wood fired oven that you can see right into. You feel the heat. And you're watching pizza makers make pizza, fire them off with about 3 feet in front of you.
Oh wow.
The experience is extremely immediate. It's the closest place you'll be able to see pizza made in all of Las Vegas. I can guarantee that.
Yeah. One thing we're hearing from a lot of operators is, just the insane cost of goods right now, and inflation and things like, being able to bring fresh things to the menu and, offer new and rotating things. How are you able to kind of balance between, offering something really cool and new and keeping costs in line? Or how are you able to do that?
It's a challenge, and we're still learning. We've only been in operation about 9 months, so that definitely is something that we're still kind of getting a handle on. But part of it is having items on the menu that can be used in multiple applications helps quite a bit. So we might have a specialty pizza that comes out. For example, we had our elote pizza that just ended.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. It's beautiful.
But at the same time, we offered elote fries that had all of the same stuff that we already were carrying, but just in a different format.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one of the ways. And the other is just pricing the menu item correctly. Our customers' tolerance for price is pretty good, I think, especially being a pizza joint, and those customers knowing that everything that Justin puts out of that back kitchen is going to be extremely good quality. So we might price it a little higher than you might see at another restaurant, but the customer knows that it's worth it. So
and Justin probably can bring over this as far as Morgan's sister, or Dani's sister, actually. Morgan is our kitchen manager. So Justin and Morgan will sit down together every week, go over all the things that they're trying to order, price things out, and then they'll build specials around what they can find the best prices on for that week. And so if one of our distributors has a sale on something, or if they're offering something for a lot less expensive, they'll create something that's around that, and we can offer a new item that seems exciting and new, but it's still saving us money, because we're just trying to hop on deals that distributors give every now and then. We're still pretty small fry, so we're still working with our distributors to get us better options and better deals here and there. And that's another thing we're trying to learn how to deal with, is making the best out of your distribution network and maximizing that. But Morgan and Justin have been really good these last few months, especially just tuning in on when things get too expensive, so we cut them from the menu, or when there's a really good deal on something, we pick that up so we can sell it and make some money on it.
And not being
That's
not
great.
afraid to cut stuff from the menu that's not working has also been
Yeah.
a good lesson for us. And you just have to build the tolerance to the vocal minority that are sad that maybe you remove the pasta or the meatballs from the menu. But what is nice is being the owner and knowing the numbers. I can just look someone in the eyes and say it wasn't selling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't come here enough to buy it.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And that's the beauty of working for yourselves and being small, where you have that built-in flexibility that you can. I mean, let's just take a large Domino's pizza, for example. All right. If they wanted to add a smash burger, well, they're going to have to go through months and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars of R&D and product testing, and test it in this market and test it in that market. Will the customers buy it? It's 16 to 24 months later before it's on the menu. And then if it doesn't do well, they've lost millions of dollars. You can literally throw a hot ham and cheese sandwich on the menu tomorrow, and if it sells, great. And if it doesn't, it's off the menu the next day. And you can be as creative as you want and experiment all you want with limited time offers. And that's really cool to be able to have that creativity. You all seem like very creative people. It's, and it's really cool that you can do that. So kudos to you for figuring out ways to experiment, to expand, and to also know that if I bring in an ingredient, I have to use it in 2 or 3 or 4 dishes to be worthwhile. I can't just bring it in for one dish. or else it's not going to be that profitable. So it's really cool that you're figuring all this out a lot faster than, some people are in business for 5 years before they figure that out.
And Jeremy, that is why we named them rising stars in the industry. There you go.
They earned it. They earned it.
That was awesome.
By the way, congratulations, guys! You all made the list as a group. We were excited that your name was on a lot of folks' lists to say, hey, you need to see what they're doing at Yukon. So if you're out there and you're wanting to tour pizzerias and you're in Vegas, you should get to Yukon and see what they have going on.
I think in Vegas in March, I'm going to do, I don't know, maybe I won't. I might eat a burger. We'll see. We'll see.
Let's do it.
We got to get over there. Next expo, we're gonna get to you guys. All right. Do you happen to be coming east? All right. Do you happen to be coming east for PP&E this year? Are you guys gonna miss it this year?
Year one of being open, so we're locked down.
Yeah. I got you. Well, we will definitely see you in March in Vegas and look forward to that. But I'll end this on one question. What's next for you guys? What are you looking forward to? Either this year or something you've got in the works.
Well, actually, before we answer that, I want to give one more answer to a question you didn't ask.
Okay, go ahead.
I
love it.
Hearing you talk about us, and I feel like real, buffed up. But there are 4 owners on this call. But I also want to make sure that we shout out the rest of our team. That's the other big secret sauce to our success, as well as the normal stuff of like having a good team around you helps generally. All of our team are super creative as well, bring a lot to the menu. Almost every staff member at this point has had some pizza special or some kitchen special run. And we focus really heavily on hiring good staff and on treating them as well as possible. And I just want to make sure the listeners know it's not just us 4. Like we have a staff of 15.
I was gonna say you have a staff of 15.
And we, love and appreciate them all, and we wouldn't be here without any of them as well.
What's your culture like with your staff?
We're trying to change the restaurant culture. I mean, as we all know, kitchens can be pretty toxic places. Unfortunately. We from industries that Justin was in the industry a long time, from us coming from our film and TV industry, which in and of itself can be a pretty toxic place to work as well. We want to change that. It's not acceptable to us. And it's a small thing that we can do for our team members and for our customers too. Our customers know and appreciate that we treat our staff well, we pay them well. Number one is paying your people well is the most top of the list as far as what's important to our culture. But as Cameron was mentioning, just having an open, creative environment and encouraging our staff to come at us with whatever idea they have, whether it's something to put on the menu or a merch idea. One of our lead pizza makers, Molly, is an incredible artist, and she's drawn half of our stickers and our merch and stuff. And she does that on her own. She makes fan art for the place that she works for. So I think that kind of tells you everything you need to know about how to make our employees feel.
And I think you guys might have wrote an article about it some months back, but I really love the phrase "leading with love." Kind of lesson that I'm trying to bring to everybody's positive environment where you lead with love, that you have expectations of greatness, and then when you lead like that, you get the best out of people versus leading with discipline or another way. So that's what thing we've been trying to learn and do is walking the walk and talking the talk. There's talk about it, but actually doing good and doing better every day requires work and requires conscious effort. So every day we are trying to lead with love, have our team be as strong as they can be, and like Cameron said, we're grateful to have everybody there. So we're super lucky.
Awesome.
For the future, you can also speak to that.
What's exciting for us, there's always the small things. Justin and Morgan have a lot of cool things on mind for this fall for the kitchen, collaborations and pop-ups we want to do. But what's really kind of exciting is that our developer and landlord who helped build the space out for us here has already came to us and wants to do spot number 2.
Oh, wow.
So we do have a Yukon 2 or a 2Con, if you want to call it.
Yukon
2.0. We're, a larger pizzeria that's more family oriented out, maybe in the suburb of the thing. And then also like in a little after that, we'd love to give Justin a full-on burger and beer bar.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about. I'll leave
Yeah, that's
Okay.
awesome.
You know,
I'm totally
Just sample
teasing you.
that one out. Just sample it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
there are 4 of you, so there's, you know.
We're looking forward to a little bit of expansion. You know, the idea being that we could run a couple spots in Las Vegas that are family owned, family ran, but also that, you know, the economics of having 2 spots or 3 spots is always better
Yeah.
for restaurants. We don't want to get involved with restaurant groups too much if we can help it.
Yeah.
Especially in Las Vegas, they're so big and can be too big.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of love and support, and I think if we keep our heads down and get stuff on, you know, we're good to go. We're excited for spots 2 and 3.
That's awesome.
I love
That's
it.
cool. I love it. Well,
Congrats
we
again.
can't wait to
Nick.
follow your success, guys. You're
Likewise.
doing amazing things, and we can't wait to follow you and see where you go from here. And we will see you in Vegas.
Sounds great, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks
guys.
so
Take
much.
care. Thank you very much.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Later.
See
Bye.
ya.